Hello, I'm Adrian and I do love a bit of XTC. I've not looked at one of their songs before on my channel and I thought it was about time. This is Making Plans for Nigel. So yes, Making Plans for Nigel from 1979, and I think I'm right in saying that this was XTC's first big UK hit. It was kind of their breakthrough song, and it also marked a little bit of a musical departure for them. I think up to this point they've been a kind of punky, new wave type act, and this song and the album from which it was taken marked the start of a musical journey into ever more sophisticated pop songwriting. Apologies to all you XTC super fans out there for whom this is perhaps a little bit of a predictable choice of song to look at, but it's an undeniably great song. There's some really interesting things going on guitar wise as well. If you enjoy this, do let me know, and then perhaps I can look at some more obscure XTC stuff at some point in the future. But for now, let's get down to business. Okay, I'm going to take you through the song section by section, and I want to talk a little bit about both of the guitar parts you can hear in the song. In the left-hand speaker you can hear Dave Gregory's rhythm part, and then Andy Partridge is playing lead in the right-hand speaker. But let's kick off with the rhythm part, and the basic chords for both the intro and the verse of the song are these. We've got G, E minor and B minor. So we're in the key of G. This is the 1 chord, the 6 minor and the 3 minor chord. And we've got a bar of G, a bar of E minor, and then 2 bars of B minor. So it's, we're only making plans for Nigel. And that just goes round. But instead of just strumming through those chords, we've actually got a really interesting rhythm guitar part. And what's going on is this. We've got these rhythmic hits or stabs that are emphasizing beat 2 and also the and of 3. So we've got 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So to achieve that, you're just going to need to rest your fingers lightly on the strings and then squeeze down the chord when you want those hits to occur. So got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And you want to keep those chord hits reasonably short and staccato sounding. So that's the basic part. You've also just got a few bass notes in there as well. So I think there's usually just a low root bass note on beat 1 of every bar. So we have 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and something like that. And if you listen really hard, you can possibly hear a few other bass notes in there as well. So something like this. If you want to, you can try throwing some of those in there as well. On to the lead guitar part, and this is brilliantly simple. It's just this. All the way through the intro and the verse. It's one of these simple parts that just works against all of the chords in the progression. So it's all based on this double stop shape played on the D and G strings. We've got the 12th fret on the D, 14th fret on the G, playing that twice, and then we're pulling off to the 12th fret on the G string. So you're going to just need to lay your first finger down over those two middle strings. We're going to play the double stop twice and then pull off. And rhythmically with this one we're coming in on beat 2. So it's 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1. So that's that. Simple but brilliant. Moving on to the chorus then, and the basic chords that we've got in the rhythm guitar part are these. We've got A minor, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to G, 2, 3, 4 to F, to E minor for 2 bars, and then D. So those kind of basic chords would work, but the actual chords I'm hearing on the recording are a little bit more sophisticated than that. We've got an A minor 7 instead of just a straight A minor, so you can play that if you just take your normal A minor, lift up your third finger to allow that G string to ring open. You've got an A minor 7, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And all of these chords in the chorus are played quite long, so you're just playing on the first beat and letting the chords hang. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you could possibly just lead into some of these chords with a quick down, up, down of the pick. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Then we've got a G chord, and the version of G that I'm hearing here is this. It's a kind of nice G power chord shape. So this is the 5th fret on the A, 5th fret on the D, we've got an open G, and then 3rd fret on the B and G. Really nice G5 or G power chord. We've got 1 bar of that. Then we've got F, but I'm hearing this chord here, which is technically an F add 9 over A. So we've got an A string, and then we've got F, A, C, and then a G on top. So a nice sounding variant on an F major chord. And then for E minor, I'm hearing this. So 2nd fret on the D, open G and B, and then 3rd fret on the top string. Possibly it's 3rd fret on the 2nd string as well, but which would make it an E minor 7, but either of those will work. And then we're up to D. I'm just playing a D power chord up here at the 5th fret, and then the rhythm starts kind of chugging away with 8th notes. So that's our rhythm guitar part. The lead guitar part is really just a development of the part that you hear in the verses, and that goes something like this. So we have some more of these double stops played on the middle 2 strings. We're starting with this shape, which is 12 on the D, 16 on the G, then playing the 12th fret on the G. Then we've got this shape, which is 12 on the D, 14 on the G, and then this series of 3 notes. I'm hearing it as 12 on the G, 14 on the A, back to 12 on the G. That's just repeated. There might be a few little variations or other little odd notes in there, but this seems to me that the basis of what's happening here. So just one more time slowly. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 2. And we're just repeating that. I think that's repeated about 6 times, and the chorus ends with this little chromatic line. We're just running up the G string from the 11th fret, 12, 13, 14. A little bit of vibrato on there would be nice as well. Let's talk about the lovely couple of guitar breaks that you can hear in this song, and I think they're typical of the Andy Partridge guitar style. They're quite unique sounding. There are none of the usual guitaristic cliches in there, and they're both very similar, but the first lead guitar break you hear goes like this. And that itself is fairly similar to the chorus part. We're using those same double stop ideas on the middle two strings. So we're starting with that 12 and 16 shape. Then we're playing the 12th fret on both those strings. Then 12 and 14. Back to 12 and 12. Then 14th fret on the A. And then back to that double stop 12 and 12. So just repeating that. And then another double stop shape. We've got 11 on the D, 10 on the G. Playing that twice and then just sliding up one fret and doing that again. So if I put all of that together, we've got 2, 3, 4. Second lead guitar break is similar. There are just some rhythmic variations, and there's also an extra note thrown in, and the sound is a bit different as well. I think the first lead break is played with the verse sound, but the second one is a bit brighter, and it sounds like it's played a little bit more aggressively. It goes like this. We've got so all based on exactly the same shapes. It's just the rhythm of those opening notes there is now a quarter note triplet. And then we do that same double stop on the slide. But then we've just got this high note added in, and that's just the 12th fret on the top string. So double stop, slide. We play that note on the top string, then the 12th fret on the D, and then back to that high note. And then the whole thing is repeated. We've just got the middle 8 to go, though technically I think it's a bit longer than 8 bars. This is quite straightforward, so I'm just going to take you through the basic chords quite quickly. I think both guitar parts are very similar for this section of the song. So we've got this. We're starting with an open E chord. We've got Nigel is not outspoken. To F, he likes to speak. To C, likes to be spoken to. Then we've got G. So 2 bars of G, but we've just got this little rhythmic figure here. There's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So you can do that with an open. I'm doing it with an open G power chord here. You could do it with a bar chord as well if you wanted to. 2, 3, 4. Then we've got F, E minor to G. That's that Nigel is happy in his work bit. Nigel is happy in his work. And then we just repeat that F, E minor, G. And that's basically it. That's the Dave Gregory part. I think Andy Partridge seems to be doing more or less the same thing with just this one variation. He's got this line that goes, which doubles his backing vocal part, that in his work. So that's just going down from the 5th fret on the B to the 4th fret to the 3rd fret, and we've got the open G string in there as well. So the Andy Partridge middle section is something like that. Nigel is not outspoken, he likes to speak and he likes to be spoken to. In his work. back into the verse. So since you asked, the gear what I is using to make this video, and the guitar is my Mustang 1966 Fender Mustang. I've actually done a video on this guitar, so you can watch that if you're interested in finding out a little bit more. I've got both of these switches in the back position, so both of the pickups are on here. Now for the rhythm guitar part, it's just a nice kind of jangly power pop type guitar sound, so that's really just going straight into the amp with a little bit of overdrive from my J Rocket Archer pedal. The tone on the lead guitar part is perhaps more interesting. That's quite a unique tone, and what I think is going on here is it's the old cocked wah-wah pedal trick, and the giveaway is actually right at the start of the song, where you can hear this. You've got some open strings, and then you can hear a wah-wah pedal being rocked back and forth a couple of times, and then what you do is you just leave that wah-wah pedal in a fixed spot where you've got that interesting kind of cocked wah tone. Sometimes you need to just hunt around to find that sweet spot where it sounds right, but it's round about there, so kind of somewhere in the middle, and then you get that nice kind of tonal filter sound going on, and that's the sound that I'm hearing on the lead guitar part for this song. So that's for most of the lead guitar part, and then as I say, for the second lead guitar break, that it seems to be a slightly different sound, a brighter sound with the wah-wah pedal turned off. So that's really all I'm using effects wise. I'm using the wah-wah pedal, and then going into my my Rocket Archer overdrive pedal. Amp is Fender Deluxe Reverb. That's it for now. Enjoy learning the song. As I said, if you've got any more XTC requests, do let me know, and perhaps I can do something like this again in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.